What an absolutely spectacular performance by Derrick Lewis tonight. And I have to say, when I am wrong, I am wrong. Derrick Lewis won by second round knockout. Nothing technical about it. Left Mr. Blade stiff in the ring. Uh, I had predicted that Derrick Lewis would get grinded out by and wrestle fucked, as we call it, by a high level wrestler. Wouldn't let him get going. Would control the action, takedown after takedown, and really just fatigue Derrick Lewis. I don't think that Derrick Lewis would be finished. I know that his ground escapes are tricky and remarkable. That he can explode at the proper time and get out and get back to his feet. But I just thought that it would be a war of attrition, and Lewis just isn't known for cardio. Well, I'm totally 100% completely effing wrong, and this is what happened. Derrick Lewis in the second round shocks the world, or shocks Curtis Blade at least, with a big uppercut, leaves him stiff. The uppercut lands flat on the chin. A shot on the way down and two shots for good measure before Herb Dean can stop the fight. And that doesn't tell the entire story. So this is how you land an uppercut when somebody knows that that's the only shot they're going to be vulnerable for. So when you're shooting in, you're not vulnerable for an overhand. You're not vulnerable for a jab. You're not vulnerable for a cross or a hook. You are vulnerable for an uppercut or a knee up the middle. Those are the things. Those are the things that you look for. So how did Derrick Lewis plant this? Well, I can tell you in the first round, Lewis, it looked like he was actually getting outpointed on the feet. He was getting leg kicked. That low calf kick was very, very, very effective. And he appeared to be hurt a couple of times. Now, as Mike Bisping said, Lewis fakes hurt all the time. I think he fakes hurt, so when he actually gets hurt, you won't know. A good poker face doesn't necessarily have to be nothing's happening or nothing's wrong. A great poker face is everything's always wrong because you never know when he's telling the truth or not. So I think Derrick Lewis plays it up a lot. Big personality, my balls is hot. One of the favorite Instagrams ever. One of my favorite people to watch. So what happens? Derrick Lewis is doing something we call pull. He was backing all the way up to the cage, kind of inviting a shoot in. And then I did notice that he just got off the cage just slightly before Blades would approach him. So he was giving himself space to kind of get this uppercut off. And I was actually looking for a knee up the middle. Didn't think it was going to be an uppercut, but I was thinking he was trying to set up a knee. And that's where he was getting the space off the cage so he can have just a little more room for his hips to explode. He's known for a big jump knee, and I think it would be spectacular knockout. But, I mean, ever since Street Jesus knocked out Ben Askren, everybody's looking for that knee up the middle, that jump knee, right, when someone shoots in on them. I mean, at least as a fan, I want to see that all the time. As a coach, we teach it. It's just something to look for. But going back to the fight, Derrick Lewis started doing something over the top intelligent. He started shucking off the takedown, but he also started threatening his own offense. And when I mean threatening his own offense, he would drop down, throw a shot over the top. He kind of was active. His shots are heavy. Every time that Blades went for a takedown, Lewis would throw just heat back at him. And, one thing about Derrick Lewis, you hit him, he's going to throw a hammer back. So he incorporates the pull, backing up, letting Blades come in. He knows that Blades is probably not going to come in on his feet, even though Blades had an effective jab, had some effective striking. But when he shot in, Blades hit him with an uppercut. The uppercut caught him flush on the chin. There was just a slight angle to the right that you could see. I think Blades was actually going for the opposite leg that the shot came over. It wasn't straight on. Hit him in the chin. Just absolutely amazing. So you got to say that this fight has to be a fight of the night performance, has to be an extra 50G to Derrick Lewis. So what's next for Derrick Lewis? And I think that in this case, if you beat number 2 and number 1 is fighting for the title, Derrick Lewis should get the next title shot. Now, that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is John Jones is going to come up, fight somebody soon, and then fight for the title. I mean, that's just good business by the UFC. Not proper ranking business, but I think that it's a fight that's intriguing. Maybe they'll have John Jones fight Derrick Lewis for an eliminator. I doubt it. I don't think they want to risk Jones with someone like Lewis. I think that Jones is too much of a cash cow. He's just a star, and I think that they want Jones as a champion. They want Jones to beat Stipe. They want Jones to beat Ngannou, or at least they wouldn't mind if it was Jones or Ngannou, because they're in the UFC's mind more marketable than Stipe Miocic. I don't think that Dana White knows how to market a true like blue collar American. I mean, if you think about all of the people who've risen to fame in the UFC in the past, let's just say 20 years, excuse me, let's say 10 years. So let's take it from 2010, 2011. The stars have been Anderson Silva, Superman. I mean, did everything. George St. Pierre, you know, a gentleman from Canada, speaks with this crazy accent, and once again, just technically sound and superb in all aspects. You have somebody, then you go to another star, Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor just talks a ton of shit, was predicting fights, knocking people out. Before Conor, there was Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey was on this crazy unbeaten streak. She would just, hip toss the fuck out of somebody. Now, these are all great, compelling stories. But, I mean, someone like Stipe Miocic, he's not fucked up. He doesn't talk a lot of shit. He goes to his job as a fireman still. He represents Cleveland, Middle America, the flyover states, as people say. He's not an elite type of guy. Not sure Dana White knows what to do with him. John Jones has this checkered past. He's always in and out of trouble. And people can actually root against him. People can root for him. Rooting against or rooting for, that's more eyes on a pay-per-view. Francis Ngannou, I mean, just monstrous, crazy power. The way he knocked out Alistair Overeem, almost breaking his neck, and then looking for redemption against Stipe Miocic, which, by the way, I think Miocic is going to do the same thing and beat him. My prediction already, I think Miocic beats Francis Ngannou, but I think that Derrick Lewis is a logical contender for the title. I mean, he already showed that he can knock out a wrestler. Blades was number 2. Blades was on a 4-fight win streak. Lewis is really humble. He says, hey, I ain't going to get a title shot, but I think Lewis is going to get another title shot. He had a shot against Daniel Cormier. I think he's going to have a shot. And I think that Lewis, if he just works on it, gets his diet together, keeps himself in check, and just loses about 10 more pounds, I think he's going to be really deadly. He's super fast. I tell you one thing that I noticed, that uppercut, it came at a speed that really shocked Blades. Blades had no idea what happened. When he was sitting up, sad that they were on his face, and the doctor was telling him, you've been knocked out. And he was like, really? I got knocked out? That means he is not going to have no recollection of the day. Great job by Derrick Lewis. Great fight. UFC just continues putting on a show during the pandemic. I appreciate it. Can't wait to watch some ONE FC. I want ONE FC broadcast on television where we can watch it. Also excited that Bellator is still doing shows. I mean, I think the more competition, the more combat sports, the better. Anyway, that's my reaction to the fight. I think it was absolutely amazing. Great job. Fair game to Derrick Lewis. And we'll just keep breaking down the fights from now on. I just enjoyed, especially the ones on an ESPN Plus card. It was a pretty damn good card. You folks take care. Stay safe. One love and booty in your face.